Hey, Shalom Akim. First foremost, give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rachak Kudash, the honors under the Elders Apostle Millstone, the Elders Millstone, and of course, peace and blessings under the hopeful elect. That's a serious sermon, so Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, servant in truth and sincerity. Yes, on the brother Chayaba from GMS Plain Devil's Camp. Come back with another lesson to the Spirit. Yeah, this lesson be based off of course, what the recent news, obviously. You have, of course, the scriptures go into the wars and the rumors of wars, within Matthew chapter 24, going into, again, what the wars and rumors of wars. And clearly what we're seeing that transpiring, within the earth right now as we speak. As, of course, Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai has the prophets preaching, breaking down this word. Again, it's being shown, without a doubt, that we are in the end times, as the scriptures prophesy. Well, of course, as written within the scriptures, as the scriptures prophesy. Lord is simply using his prophets, his messengers, to bring it out. Of course, to prophesy unto our people. Our people, of course, being the so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Latinos. And also, our people have been scattered amongst, these other nations. Going into Deuteronomy chapter 28 and 64. So, article is entitled, it says, U.S. escalates military buildup near Venezuela as Trump warns Maduro to flee. Yeah, and obviously, you have this conflict between the U.S. and Venezuela. To read this article, it says the Trump administration has deployed 11 warships, including the USS Gerald R. Ford aircraft carrier, it says, and 15,000 troops to the Caribbean under the pretext of a counter-narcotics operation. Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro accuses Washington of preparing for an invasion under false pretenses. Operation Southern Spear includes advanced U.S. naval and air assets, such as the USS Gerald R. Ford, carrying 75-plus fighter jets, amphibious assault ships, guided missile destroyers, stealth fighters, and bombers. Over 2,200 Marines are ready for rapid deployment. Behind closed doors, President Donald Trump reportedly demanded Maduro resign or face military action. Maduro sought global amnesty and continued control of Venezuela's military in exchange for free elections, conditions Trump rejected. It says the operation has drawn bipartisan criticism after reports surfaced that U.S. officials ordered the killing of survivors in a drone strike. As the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, dismissed the claims as false, or says that's fake news, but lawmakers warned it could constitute, war crime. Yeah, and it goes into the point. So, and hey, and we know, of course, behind closed doors is bigger than just a narcotics operation. Well, of course, obviously we know how. Of course, one of the main reasons, the biggest reasons are, of course, having control over the oil. As we know, of course, Venezuela owns a fifth of basically the oil reserves within the world. And, that's obviously the largest, within any nation. And, of course, as we know, Esau is always looking for control. Of course, Esau, being a so-called white man, starting with, of course, his main nation, which is America. Because, of course, America is not just the only Edomite nation. You have, of course, with the nations within the EU. Of course, within NATO. And obviously, you have Russia, Edomite nation. But again, it starts with Babylon the Great, which is America. And we know, of course, what they want to have control over, basically over everything. And them getting control over Venezuela. Well, we know Trump's going into the Monroe Doctrine, which basically, no foreign powers within the Western Hemisphere. So read this again. Things are brewing up. This Joel chapter 3 and 9, it says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Exactly. And so war is being prepared without a doubt. When you get that word for prepared within the Hebrew word is kodash, meaning to consecrate, sanctify. Yes, it says dedicate. Yes, a war is being consecrated. War is being sanctified. Consecrate meaning make or declare. What sanctify meaning, to set apart as. So what, again, war is being brewed up, prepared. And the Gentiles, of course, going into these other nations. So yes, as wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Exactly. So war without a doubt is brewing up. And again, Lord's using, literally stirring up these other nations so that war does brew up. Because again, this is all prophecy. Scripture is going to how there's going to be a third world's war, which is that final war that we're waiting for before the return of Yahushua. Of course, Yahushua is going to come back in the midst of the climax of World War III, which is, climax of World War III is going to be the nuclear destruction taking place. Because obviously he's going to have to deliver his elect from Babylon the Great. Again, which is America, because the scripture is going to how America is going to be destroyed by nuclear fire. So if the Lord didn't come back to deliver his elect from that nuclear destruction, we will perish. And I'm saying we, because again, we're a part of the hopeful elect. That's, of course, our expectation, and that's our hope. It says Habakkuk chapter 2 and 5, also because he transgresseth by wine, he's a proud man. Neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Exactly. So ultimately Esau, that's Esau's spirit. And again, this begins with Babylon the Great, with America, Esau's main nation, or basically Esau's headquarter nation, his top nation. So he's a proud man, neither keepeth at home. And we can see how he neither keepeth at home with him coming up against Venezuela. Again, Esau always uses fronts in order to obviously this devil always has ulterior motives, and he constantly uses fronts. It's a war on drugs. We need to stop the narcotics. Meanwhile, obviously it goes deeper. Again, one of the big reasons why is the oil and energy. Them gaining control, of course, over it. So it says Habakkuk chapter 2 and 5, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. So this is Esau's goal to as scriptures say, he puts himself as if he's the Most High, and he cannot be satisfied. So he's never satisfied with what he already has. Esau has already basically he has control over the earth. The scriptures say how the earth has been given into the hands of the wicked. So again, he already has all the gold and everything laid up, but again, he's never satisfied. So it says Habakkuk chapter 2 and 6, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Thick clay, of course, being debt. Because we know this nation is, trillions in debt. So again, so obviously a war is brewing up. And of course, one of Venezuela's allies are, of course, is Russia. And Maduro is asking Russia basically for assistance in this. So yeah, ultimately we know what this is leading to. Ultimately, again, the biggest war, which is World War III. And again, all these things are coming to play. Ultimately, Esau wants to achieve is NWO. Which with that, of course, the implementation on the mark of the beast obviously is going to be the forefront of that. Which is, of course, the implant, the C-hip that they want to put in everybody. We can get that in Revelation chapter 13 and 16. But I believe it's a point. Of course, we also we know how, but behind the scenes, the digital ID. I mean, it's at this point it's already at the forefront. It's already on news everywhere you can see. But digital ID is already in effect, and it's rapidly advancing. You have Apple releasing the basic support with this digital ID. You got TSA, heavy integration within TSA already in airports. So again, all of this is brewing up towards with the NWO, and with that, of course, in the NWO, the biggest part of it is going to be the mark of the beast. That's again Revelation chapter 13 goes into. And after that, of course, World War III happening very, very soon after. And again, this is according to the timeline of the scriptures. Again, these things will come quick. As the other apostle Tahar says, well, we're months away. Again, months can be 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. The point is that we're months away. And this is very, very soon. So those are you brothers that edified. Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, Bashim Kakodash Brakathum. Shalom.